Welcome back, everyone, to MAGA, Make Europe Great Again, hosted by our great friends from Romania, George Simion and the AUR. Again, when I very first met you, it was a no-brainer for me, someone who has literally put his life on the line to stand up for his country, and here you are. You know, the coalitions that you're building, the relationships that you have now. Did you ever imagine that you would go from being just that protester leading your local people to now being an international figure in this fight?
We were forced to get in this battle because everything went crazy with our country, against Christianity, against family values, against anything we stood up for. The first time you took an interview with me in CPAC, I said I was arrested. I told you my life story, and the Romanian globalist media tried to smear me, tried to say, okay, Simion was in prison, he is like a hero in the States. But this actually helped lots of Romanians see that we are no pro-Russian agents, that we go to Washington, that we want to create a free world like we learned and like we saw when we were in kindergarten, when we were in primary school. We looked towards America like a model of democracy and freedom. And I was last week at the inauguration of President Trump, and for the first time after a long period, I could enjoy myself when I heard the speech when President Trump said, from now on in America, we only have two genders, male or female. This is good because I see a victory, and this is good because I see the woke propaganda being defeated in America, where it started, and here in the old continent, in Europe. So today I'm happy to have so many American, Canadians, and friends from abroad coming to MAGA event in the European Parliament, sharing ideas, sharing experiences. We can grow from hearing each other out. There's a big appetite for debate, for discussions, and we will debate between ourselves, and then we will go in our countries to spread these ideas. I think it's wonderful.
It is. It's really beautiful. I think in spite of all of this good news, there's been some very disturbing events in Romania. The captive state of Romania, as you called it. Can you explain what's gone on there with the presidential elections?
I don't think anyone believed the fight will be easy and we will just win, and they will agree to let the power from their hands. We have been a captured state since the revolution in 1989. Some neo-communists took over the country. They said we have free elections, we have democracy, but turns out that we lived a lie. We didn't have free elections. They were letting only people from their group be a candidate and winning. We had a big surprise with an independent sovereignist candidate winning the election, first round, and they annulled the second round. They annulled the elections without presenting any proof, without presenting any logic why they did this. They say the Constitutional Court decided, but our Constitutional Court is not formed out of real judges. It's formed out of members, some of them former politicians, who don't have anything to do with a judge.
You are an EU member state.
Yes.
What has the EU done to help correct? Literally, they threw out a presidential election. I mean, that is outrageous behavior in a nation that claims to want a democracy. The EU says they're promoting democracy, but they've allowed this president of Romania to throw out your election.
They allowed the dictatorship of Klaus Werner Iohannis, our German president, to continue.
A German president of Romania. Got it.
You can imagine.
Yeah.
We are like a colony, and they didn't do anything because Ursula von der Leyen is also German, and because the globalist forces are losing ground in Europe and in the world. We have been imprisoned, we have been detained 6 months ago before the European elections in order to smear us. They took our phones and laptops from my campaign crew, and after 6 months they still didn't return it or didn't do anything with those devices. We live in a captured state, we live in a police state, and somebody would argue that the European Union institutions talk about the rule of law and about democracy only when it's convenient for them. When it's not, they are imposing a dictatorship. So we are trying to fight. We have an opinion from the Venice Commission that said it's not possible to annul elections like this. We have repeated the elections in the 4th and 18th of May. We don't know if they will let Georgescu be a candidate, even if he is not forbidden to elect and be elected. We are gathering now European and international support. This is one part of our purpose here.
I think it's very bold, and I'm curious what propelled you to hold the event here in the EU building in Brussels, Belgium, an organization that, again, has not done their job. They promote equity and fairness, and yet they've allowed this tyranny in Romania.
I believe that we should take back Capitol Hill, that we should take back institutions after institutions, and we must fight in order that this happens. This is why we are here in the European Parliament, because we have members of the European Parliament, and we want to, in the future, to form a majority of free states that compose the European Union, but that know the value of transatlantic relations and of the free world. This is why now the fight from Washington moved here to Brussels. Europe can go in two ways. Either accepts the Trump wave and returns to the people and returns to the values that were projected when first the European Union was created, or it will be a creature of globalists and of Soros, which will try to fight with the United States of America.
If you do not win, if there is not an election in May, if Georgescu is not able to even be a candidate, that's even up for debate whether or not he can be a candidate. What do you think will happen in Romania? And again, just pointing out, you're here leading amongst 33 and more countries who are seeking a voice. They want a seat at the table. These are people that are powerful in their own country, but they are not being supported in this, if you want to call it the Trump agenda. I agree with that, but it's liberty and freedom and self-determination. If you are not allowed to have an election in May, what do you think will be the next steps for Romanians?
How do you get out of a dictatorship? Does anyone has an answer for this? I don't think there's a correct answer. We are facing an ongoing coup d'etat, and we are fighting this coup d'etat. We are fighting the dictatorship, and hopefully we will win. We tried everything from petitions to big rallies around Bucharest organized by us. And we will try to take power, and hopefully they will accept finally the democratic transition of power.
We'll have to see. You have a new baby.
Yes.
You're a father. You've been fighting for this country. Many people would use that as an opportunity to step away. Why do you persist?
Because I'm very insistent. Because I'm a fighter. Because it's. For me, it would be a humiliation, and I would be disappointed in myself if I don't fight for the future of my baby boy. So we all must fight for our children, for their future, for normality. This is why we will persevere and we will win at the end, I'm sure of it.
I feel confident as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for all that you're doing, George Simion. And we will be right back. Thank you for joining us here at the Make Europe Great Again conference.